Good morning. Good morning. So, would you like to learn a game that you can play with your dog so that they will come back to you more consistently? Well, welcome to our Training Tip Tuesday. My name is Linda Kwan, and I am the owner and trainer at WowBowWow. We specialize in working with pet parents with puppies and adolescent dogs, and we help them understand their dog so training becomes easier. So if anyone's joining me, I'm going to check on my phone because on my computer, I can't check messages. Here, I see it's on. Let's check on my phone. Let me reduce the volume. I don't hear echo of myself. But if anyone's here, just chat in the chat. Where are you from? And what's your dog's name? So to get started, the game that I wanted to share with you is called the counting game. It's a game which is a big win-win for your dog because no matter what they do, they win. I'll show you why. So like me, I know there's many of you out there whose dog still does not come back to you very well. I gotta say, my Jill has gotten much better, and I'll share a story with you about her. But how many of you have a dog that won't come back to you when you call them that easily? And what kind of scenarios are you in? Are you in a busy place? Is it in the backyard? Or is it even in the house still? That's okay, no judgment. Just let me know what kind of scenarios you're having problems getting your dog to come back to you. So to share a story about Jill, Jill goes from 0 to 60 in like 60 seconds. And in our backyard, there's a lot of stuff back there, a lot of birds, squirrels, and what she likes to do is go out there and bark at them. So in order to get her attention to come back to me, it was very difficult to get her to even look at me. She was so busy, intensely staring at the bird or the squirrel and barking at them. So a lot of times in the beginning, it was just getting her focus on me, right? And on Saturday, I shared with you a game to practice that focus, getting them to figure out where you are, getting them interested in knowing where you are. But back to the counting game. So in the beginning, it was just trying to get her attention. So I would literally have to go up next to her and maybe put a treat in her nose and turn her head to me to look at me. And then after a couple of times, she would like go for the treat and then follow the treats. So that was the beginning of how to get her to even focus on me. She was so intense on those birds and squirrels. But, teaching your dog to recall, I tell my students that a lot of times you need to get the basics down in a quiet place where your dog can focus and not be so distracted with things around them. But at this point, Jill comes back to me, even though when she's barking at that squirrel that's tight looking across the telephone line in the backyard, she may take a couple more seconds than I want her to, but she will look back at me, look back at the squirrel, and then decide, okay, it's better to go back inside the house because my mama has wonderful things to share with me. So the counting game is another way to teach a dog that coming to you is a wonderful thing. So let me share a video of what it looks like. Hold on. So is anyone out there yet? No, I don't see anyone out there yet. But if you come back on the recording later on, you know what? You can still let me know who you are, where you're from, and your dog's name. And just put replay, hashtag replay, so I know that you came back later. All right, so let me share video. Oops. Sorry, I'm showing the wrong one. Hold on. Tech problems. Hold on. With you in a second. Ah. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. There. Oh, I'm having tech problems here. Thought I had it set up. Okay, so we're not going to be doing it with share then. That's fine. So the video showed this lady putting down your dog's favorite treat on the ground and starting to count out loud. So you put one treat down, you go 1, 2, 3, and you continue to count until your dog notices you and notices what you're doing and comes running to you. And like I mentioned, it's a win-win for the dog because no matter how long it takes for them to get to you, they basically get all the treats that are on the ground. So in the beginning, I want you to practice in a quiet place and in close proximity to them. Because, like I said, sometimes they may be too distracted. Even though you're in the quiet room, they may not notice you. So I want you to start in close proximity first. Now, once you get them to come to you quite frequently in the home, then you can move on to maybe going in the backyard. Practicing. Now, again, when you start in the backyard, you may start in close proximity and then start adding distance. So once you do that once, and as they're eating it, you get up and move away short distance and then start counting again. And they realize when they start hearing those words, which are numbers, for them, it's just sounds, that pattern of words, then they know that something great is going on. Near you, there's a bunch of treats that's for them. So practicing first where there's least amount of distractions, and most likely that's in the home and in close proximity, and then moving on to more distractions, then adding more distance. And you know what? Eventually, maybe even coming out with us to group field trip and practicing in other kinds of locations. So recall, I've been talking about recall a lot this month. That's one of my themes because I consider it a very important cue for your dog's safety. And, oh my God, to help you keep your blood pressure down. Because how many of you been at the dog park or in an enclosed fenced area and you finish playing and you want to go home and your dog won't come back to you? And that is so frustrating. And I've seen this happen over and over again at the dog park. And eventually there's a couple of us trying to help the human get their dog so they can go home. But, accidents can happen too, where you may be taking your dog someplace and you open the car door and you haven't practiced the weight, the doorway very well and very often enough that they do it well. So they may pop out and run. Oh, that's really scary. And oh my gosh, That would get my heart pumping so fast. Just thinking about it worries me because I don't want my dog to be run over or so for their safety, learning a good recall in different kind of locations when like, lots of different fun things are going on that they want to go smell, having them come back to you in that kind of scenario is helpful. So that's why recall, to help you have a better experience in different locations. And so that you aren't so embarrassed when your dog doesn't come back to you at the dog park or at the beach or wherever else you may take them where they can safely, play off leash and then have to take them home after. So as I mentioned, I am interested in promoting a new program that I have been putting together. It originally was going to be 3 weeks, but I think it's going to be 4 weeks because I have so much information to share with you. And I also wanted to add at the end of the series an opportunity for people who are in my area to come join me in a new location that the dog has not been, most likely. They may have been. I go to certain places locally for my group field trips. And I was thinking of taking the pet parents and their dogs on that 4th session to the Fairview Park over here on long leads and harness. So we can recall in a different kind of location where there's a lot of distractions, a lot of fun things your dogs may rather go check out. But in the first 3 weeks, we're gonna practice recall, practicing it in their homes, and then maybe their backyard, front yard, in their neighborhood first. Now, in the 4 weeks, you're not going to have a perfect recall. I'm not going to promise you that, but you'll be off to a great start. And, it's up to you guys to make it a good recall eventually, right? Make sense? All right. So with that, I'm going to leave you and, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Okay. So besides the program, now several of you have come, visited my different lives, not always when I'm live, but on the replays. And would like to give you an opportunity, just at least one hour session with me to talk face to face on Zoom and to interact with you and your dogs in front of me on your camera if you want to, but be able to answer your questions and maybe give you like more specific suggestions for your issues on recall with your dog. So I was thinking maybe a Saturday at noon, and I've asked other people what day and time may be good for them, but I'm not really, didn't get any good responses of other dates. So it looks like Saturday noon is okay for several of you. So on the 23rd, I think I got the right date, July 23rd, I'm planning to do this Zoom event for you all to come join me. And so we can talk about some of these, the games and the focus games that I brought to you, and maybe a 3rd or 4th game or suggestion we can go over in that 1 hour. So on 23rd of July, I think it's a Saturday. I'm almost positive it's 23rd. So at noon, I'm going to be going on Zoom. And if you can't, for some reason, join me on Zoom, you know what? I think I'm going to live stream it into here too. So you can join us in that way too. But I would love for you to join us in the Zoom so I can see you and interact with you better. All right. So thank you for joining us for our Training Tip Tuesday. I hope our tip was helpful. And I'm sorry I had a tech glitch that I couldn't show you the video. I had it all set up, but I don't know why it wasn't showing. But c'est la vie. So I hope my description of what you're supposed to be doing was clear enough. If not, what I'm going to try to do is maybe share the video of it in the comments below. And also in the comments below, I'll have our just general information. If you want to contact us for other types of issues, if not recall, if you have other issues that you would like to talk to us about your dog. So have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you here again. If not before the Saturday group field trip, maybe on a Thursday, I may come back again with something else to share with you. But if not, then I will see you on Saturday, right before our group field trip, to share with you another great tip. All right, have a great Tuesday.